Hello and welcome back to another Original Voice podcast where we talk to Sheffield's emerging musicians and artists, share their stories, their craft and the journeys shaping their future. We're here with the incredible Yarni, or Grandmaster Yarni, for whatever reason that is. I'm sure we'll delve into it. He's a Sheffield multi-instrumentalist, a musical artist who is constantly shifting genres. Yarni ventures into even more transcendent realms, blending nostalgic textures with forward-thinking electronics to create a sound that feels both timeless and utterly fresh. Would you like to introduce yourself or say a little bit more?
They're not my words, by the way. I've got someone else to write them. I struggle with bios. That captures it, to be fair. Basically, across 5 albums, I've ventured into all sorts of different things, spanning everything from jazz funk to techno, trip hop to folk music. So, like, my whole thing is just embracing everything and seeing what works and carrying on doing it. And if it doesn't work, then moving to different territories. That's the beauty of being a solo artist.
Would you say, where would you put your kind of title? Would you say you're a producer? Would you say you're a DJ? Would you say you're something else?
Yeah, well, it's evolved. I was a drummer and then became a DJ, then became a producer. But now it's like the music industry, artists have to wear all the hats now. Anyway.
Everything.
So it's hard to like pinpoint myself, but I'll just say musician. That's probably
musician,
easier. Yeah.
An artiste.
Yes.
So we normally start with a quick this or that, just to get to know the artist a little bit better.
Yes.
And just super fast questions. If we need to delve into anything a little bit more, or if one of your questions, one of your answers is a bit dodgy, we will pull it up. So starting simple, studio or stage?
Studio.
A bit of a hesitant answer. How come?
Well, because we've just done the Yarni ensemble gig, and up until that point I've been performing solo, so it's a lot easier when there's a full band because it's less focus on me. You know what I mean?
A few people have said that there's like, as a band, there's less stress, almost, but also more stress. Like maybe more stress beforehand, and then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. With it being Yarni ensemble, there's a lot of focus on me, but it's great because there's all these different people to look at and enjoy rather than just everybody like focusing on myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tea or coffee?
Coffee, 100%.
Big crowd or small crowd?
Small.
Yeah?
Yes.
How come?
As in, at a gig, you mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like you're closer to the energy. Whether you're in the crowd or you're on stage, I just feel like there's a stronger connection.
Bit more of a connection, yeah. I like that. Summer or winter?
Winter.
Headphones or full speakers?
Full speakers.
DIY recording or pro studio?
I'm sat perfectly in the middle of all of that. I'll say DIY.
Would you class yourself as a professional studio?
It's very close to. I'm just at just one tier below super professional.
How many tiers are there?
Well, endless, mate, as you'll know, like with your world.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Freestyle flow or planned perfection?
Ooh.
So if you're on stage or if you're practicing, do you just kind of just go with what's going on, or is it down to the T?
I think the Yarni ensemble in particular is planned because we're working with already released music.
Yeah.
But working with different artists brings that freestyle element. People fans fun.
How big is the ensemble?
6-piece.
6-piece, and you're all playing to a click, or you're all playing kind of like as tight as it gets, but to the people watching, it feels a bit free. It feels like just having fun on stage.
Yeah, that's great then, because it doesn't feel too robotic. There is a backing track that the drummer Louis is playing to, what everybody else is just locking in with Louis. So Louis got quite a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, or just playing to the drums.
Yeah.
If Louis misses a beat, it's done for.
Yes, absolutely.
Solo jam or full band chaos?
I'd say full band chaos now. Yeah, that's been the latest evolution of what I'm doing.
What was it 10 years ago?
It would have been solo, but that's just out of necessity rather than choice. Yes.
Yeah. High energy or emotional?
Emotional.
Okay.
Always.
I didn't think you were going to say that. I thought you'd want people in the crowd kind of dancing, vibing, but you'd rather someone listen to the lyrics,
but I
kind of
think
the melody.
music. So a lot of the music that I've written and released has been like. I've had quite a lot of grief to deal with over the last 10 years, so all of the music's been a escape. So all of the music's emotional to me.
Yeah.
The how it's presented might be high energy, but there's a lot of emotion in there for me.
We always find that if you actually delve into the lyrics of like a high energy song,
Yes.
you find that there's such a deeper meaning to it. But
Yeah.
some people get lost in the lyrics and some get lost in like the instrumentals and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you, so if you were listening to a song, would you have lyrics or melody? Would you listen to one of those?
Yeah, the melody. I'm not really a lyric person. I can sing along with all sorts of songs, but I don't know what I've just sung.
Yeah.
But this is because I'm a producer. I struggle to just listen to music and enjoy it because I'm always like analysing it. You know, like how did they create this or that? It's like there's very few times these days where I just sit and enjoy music. It's like it's become a thing.
Is that because your brain is always in producer mode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like always. So the way I've worked is I've cherry-picked, like a musical magpie, just cherry-picked stuff from all sorts of different tracks, make notes about them, try to recreate them. So like I'm always listening like, how did they do that? What could I bring that into my own music?
Yeah.
Rather than just going, that's a nice track.
Are you quite into musical theory? Obviously we spoke about your books and stuff before. You can see just in the studio there's so much going on. Do you read a lot of music or do you just kind of...
I've never had a music lesson, mate.
Really?
Yeah, literally. I had some drum lessons at school.
Yeah.
Reading, there's music for drums, which blew my mind.
Yeah.
And I just thought, this is a bit too regimented, so I sacked that off and just emulated my favourite drummers.
Yeah.
And then out of that, picked up a guitar. My mum bought me a guitar, all taught by ear, and just hard work and many hours.
Wow, nice.
So, yeah,
Okay.
literally never had a music lesson.
I feel like we've ticked off a few things that we know you a little bit, warmed into the podcast, so I think we should move on to actually just speaking about yourself and your music. So just touched on inspirations. So where did it all sort of begin for Yarni?
So my earliest kind of things are my mum. We had a piano in the very first house I lived in, but I wasn't allowed to play it. But my mum and stepdad would be playing. I remember just trying to reach the keys and it'd be like, no, get off. And she used to listen to, or still listens to Simon and Garfunkel.
Nice.
So I've grown up with like, which is folk and very melodic and emotional. And then my auntie went to university over like Manchester way, so she got like embroiled into all the like acid house, hacienda, clubbing scene. So I've got these two wildly different influences.
Yeah.
You've got clubbing and then really melodic, emotional music, which is why quite a lot of my music has touched on both of those things historically, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it all started, what sort of age?
That's literally like
toddler?
3, 4 years old, yeah.
Wow. And I guess you kind of got brought up probably through the golden age of music as well, especially the kind of things that you perform. Like you talk about the 90s, I guess, and the side of the...
Yeah.
When were you born?
87.
87, so... I see. You kind of remember the 90s music, but I guess 90s were kind of...
Yeah,
when you
so
were listening.
Oasis were one of the bands, the big bands. Obviously, I was just old enough to remember like Oasis and Blur being pitted against each other in the charts as like kings of Britpop or whatever. But then, yeah, early noughties were like the bit where you get a little bit older and start to understand what music is, kind of thing.
Yeah. But your music doesn't really portray any Britpop, anything like that. It's almost like you've skipped a generation and kind of gone from early days of music is now kind of what you're playing.
Yeah. Well, but I was in a band called The Field where that was like manifested, that kind of influence, because we were like a 4-piece band that were into like Oasis and the Stone Roses and stuff. So I did all that when I was like early teens and stuff. So there has been a period, and there are slight little bits of stuff in my own releases that kind of lean into that, but not too much.
And everyone in those days wanted to be an Oasis.
Yes, of course.
Did you feel you were a bit out of place, or were you just kind of going with it? Like in the back of your head, were you kind of like, I want to be more than... Were you playing drums in that band?
I was, yes.
Did you when you were playing drums, did you kind of think, there's more to this? Or did you just really still enjoy it?
When we were about 17, I was absolutely convinced that I was going to be the drummer in the biggest band in the world, just like cocksure, arrogant little SH1T. And then we quickly realised, because we came up at the same time as the Arctic Monkeys came about, so we came at the same time, and then what happens is, when there's a band from a city make it, majors and good independent labels start to go to those cities and start cherry-picking bands. So you had like your Reverend and the Makers and Milburn and Harrison's and bands like that. And we were just never... The problem with us, we weren't trendy because we were like making stuff that were like Britpop kind of vibes, and they were making like this new Strokes influence kind of sound that were like fresh. So we weren't picked up because we weren't trendy, but it's quite ironic now because obviously Oasis have come back and taken over the world. It's probably trendy again to sound like
You have to start the band again.
Full circle.
You have to get it back together.
It is the 20th anniversary of our first release this year.
Is it?
We were meant to do something, but it just never happened.
It happens though, doesn't it? But
yeah,
you got a new band.
Yes.
Would you call it? It's an ensemble. Ensemble.
Yeah, Yarni ensemble. It's a difficult situation because obviously it's evolved, and I'm super conscious of it just being like the Yarni show, as in, I think Yarni's evolved into something more than myself, you know what I mean? It's like...
That's why you call the Grandmaster.
Yeah, not self-proclaimed, by the way.
If music was chess...
Chess.
The Grandmaster of music, almost. And you're spoken of very highly. Obviously, we did a reel... who is Yarni, and you got called Grandmaster 3-4 times, I think.
It must have been from the ensemble, because I think that's where it's come from.
Yeah, but it's all Grandmaster Yarni, get to know. If you don't know, you should, sort of vibes. So everyone speaks very highly of you.
Yeah.
Has that kind of happened in... You've done 5 albums.
Yes.
How has it kind of developed from first album to an ensemble?
Yeah, it's interesting. So, like, when I first started Yarni, 11 years ago, I set out like a 10-point bullet list to tick off, of which I've ticked off. I'm really proud of, and I've now set some more targets. I always knew it, the way it should be presented should be through a band, but the demand wasn't there, and then I had this like catch-22 situation where I was like, the demand's not there, so I can't do it, but then if I don't do it, then you can't create the demand.
Yeah.
So this year I've basically gone, I need to stop like trying to get to a level where it's a no-brainer and just do it and present it, and that's why the first gig was such a big thing. It was like the pinnacle of everything I've been doing, and with it being a sellout and everybody enjoying it, we're like, right, this is great, because it's like really like reassured me that this is the direction in which to take it.
Yeah.
Should have probably just done it a bit sooner.
Yeah, but it was massive success.
Yeah.
We were there. How many people? About 4?
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be fair. Yeah,
It was a sellout, and it was absolutely rammed.
Yeah, it was good.
Everyone was at the front dancing, good vibes. Keziah stepped up, Franz stepped up, Nathaniel Short as well. There's another singer, I forgot their name. In the album, there's another singer, the female vocalist.
There's several, to be fair. There's a lot of features on the album, yes, mate.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the new album? It's called Anemoia.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yes.
Anemoia, but spelled Anemoia.
There you go.
And I think I'll just let you explain Anemoia a little bit.
Yes, so the word, obviously, you're the first person to say it correctly, well done. So the word, I was listening to a podcast, and somebody were explaining feeling nostalgic for a time where they didn't exist.
Okay.
Right, so I've always had this feeling where if I was sat amongst like family members, or my mate's dad might be telling a story about 70s when he were doing so-and-so, I'd always like place myself in that story. And I didn't know until listening to this podcast that feeling is Anemoia.
Right, okay.
So it's like, so basically the album's overarching theme concept was to like create an album that's influenced by the 70s. Obviously I'm old, but I'm not that old.
It's like a lot of people have connections to the 90s without kind of... I was born in 96, and I feel like a 90s kid, but I wasn't brought up in the 90s.
Yes.
I was brought up in the 90s, but I feel like this weird connection to the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yes, yeah, there you go. So that's Anemoia.
Yeah.
Just a nostalgia for a time where you didn't exist. So basically the idea for the album was, let's make something that sounds like it's inspired by classic 70s jazz, funk, disco, but work with loads of contemporary artists to bring it into 2025. So it's great because like some of the sound design sounds like it's influenced and sounds like the 70s, but then you've got these super modern vocals and stuff. So it's like it were tough to make it all sound cohesive throughout, but I think I did a really good job in the end. Like some people have said it sounds a little bit like a mixtape because you've got all these different voices. So it was quite a challenge, but I do think that it feels like one package of art.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Anemoia.
Anemoia. How would you describe Anemoia in terms of feeling and genre to somebody who's not listened to it?
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, it opens with like an instrumental jazz funk track, then it goes into like folk, disco, Afrobeat, hip hop with friends. It's hard to just like my overall output. You can't really pigeonhole it. That's the whole idea. It's like me just wearing my influences on my sleeve or in the record and invite people to come along and bring their vibe. Have
you ever kind of settled on one genre, or are you just ever developing different things?
I think the one thing that's happening now is because of the ensemble being a success, I think it's naturally going to lean into because obviously you've got to remember I've released 5 albums. I tried to add it up, I've worked with 40 different people.
Wow.
Different artists, different musicians. But now I've got this ensemble, it's naturally fell into like, right, that's the core, let's work with those ingredients and see where it goes rather than like move into different sections. So now I've got like some kind of like direction to take it in. So it might start to feel like more like each release is more closer aligned than just going over there and over there, you know what I mean?
How do you see the ensemble kind of developing over time? Do you think it's going to become more of a collective, or do you think you've kind of got your core group now? Are you going to run some more gigs, release some more music? Do you have a vision for the ensemble?
Yes, so basically what we did was, for the first gig, we went back in my back catalogue and invited Franz and Nathaniel and the musicians to reinvent it. So because I've released over 100 songs, believe it or not.
Wow.
I know. So we've delved backwards, but then we've then started writing stuff like for the new album, and then Nathaniel Short, the other singer, vocalist, he's writing some new parts and some new tracks himself, so we're like going to amalgamate it.
Yeah.
So basically it's just a case of like, this is the thing with how I've always worked, it's not a case of like, this is what we're doing, do this at this point. It's more a case of like giving artists a blank canvas, because I think you get the best out of people when you go, there's no restrictions here, I'm the producer, I'll sort all that bit out, you do what you want to do and I'll just steer the ship.
Yeah.
So it's like, at the minute, it's like a case of like, right, here's some loose ideas, where can we go with it, and leave it open-ended almost.
So do you see almost, each kind of vocalist being the front person, and then everyone just works behind the scenes to make their vision come true?
Yeah, if it's a vocal track, we've got a lot of instrumental tracks as well, so obviously the focus is slightly different there. So it's just, again, being a producer, it's just knowing what sits centre stage, and everything else is there to embellish it or support it, you know what I mean? So it's just that's a kind of musical arrangement thing, really.
Yeah. You always seem to be very community driven. Every time I've seen you do anything, or it's with a lot of people. And I think you're very obviously highly respected in the music industry in Sheffield, and it shows. So how important is a community to you?
Yeah, well, it's just people. Like, we're sat in my studio now. We met as a 6-piece ensemble with some loose ideas. And after, like for that gig we did, we only managed to run through the full set list twice for the gig.
Wow.
But every time everybody turned up, everybody brought something else that you can't do unless you're in the room. Like I remember Franz, we were playing an instrumental track and Franz was sat there saying, "Stop, I've got something for this." I'm like buzzing, because instrumentals are great, but if Franz brings his energy, then it's just going to elevate it. So I've got this track that sounds good, but then he brought it to a whole new level. So it's like, community is putting humans in a room. It's great, the internet's great, like I do a lot on socials and stuff, but putting people in the same room, there's no way that you can ever replace that.
No.
You know what I mean? No AI, none of this stuff.
It's the same in our sort of realm as well. We're relatively new business, really. We've been going for about a year and a half now, just over. And the community aspect of it has been crazy. Like, we talk about hybrid, doing their program as well. We've like spoke to so many different people trying to just, I guess, bring back the music scene in Sheffield.
Yeah.
Do you ever see that it was lost, or do you think there's always been kind of? What are you seeing?
I think the thing in Sheffield, I'm ever so slightly out of touch with it these days, but it's always been certain people look after themselves like a little group, and then you'll get students that pass through, and some stay, some don't. So you have these waves of what's trendy, and then you have loads of different pockets all over the place with little micro scenes, and there's no... I was listening to someone comparing Sheffield and Manchester the other day, and saying Manchester's a bit more like they've captured stuff better, whereas Sheffield there's lots of people like yourselves and other people I know all having a go, but sometimes not all pulling in the same direction. So then it creates not tension, but it just doesn't help like consolidate or feel like as a whole, which everybody together as a whole is a lot more, like we say, talk about community. It'd be a lot stronger in that way, but obviously that's just the way the world works.
Yeah, it's like almost if everyone kind of did their thing that they specialise in, there would be no competition and everyone could kind of just elevate it. I guess that's kind of what you're trying to do as well. Yeah,
so what I've done is, so like with Yarni, having been in a band in my earlier years and singing songs about Sheffield, I quickly realised that there's the rest of the world. So like for me, Yarni's always concentrated on the rest of the world. So like I've got, like you look at the demographic of
lots
people.
of Australian listeners on your Spotify. That's what I noticed.
That's it. And like America and Germany. So basically, I've always steered clear of just focusing on Sheffield because I'd experienced that and been kind of left behind by that. I thought, well, why not? If I'm gonna, like, a lot of the music I've released, they've been on labels in like Germany and Canada and all sorts of stuff. So it's like London, obviously. I've never been too bothered about just focusing on locally until now, obviously, because now we've got the ensemble. Kind of like you need to use this as like the foundation.
Yeah. Would you consider yourself successful?
When people come to me and say stuff, it kind of gives you a moment of realisation. I went to an event down at Hagler's. My mate Siri were running something, bop and shop kind of thing, and there were loads of people coming up to me, talking to me, and I was like, you don't realise, because I kind of keep myself to myself, so I'm not amongst stuff, so you kind of don't know. But then when people come up to you, like, wow, like, and quite a lot of people like thanking me for stuff. So it's nice. So that's like, it's quite egotistical, but it's nice that because I'm not involved in too much stuff, it like kind of makes you realise, actually, I am making a dent here, but I just don't realise it. So like, but successful, no, because I'm always chasing the next thing. This is the thing. It's like, right, what's next? It's like, I think the thing is, as humans, you chase something and you never just go, I'm really happy with that. It's always like, right, I've done that, what's next? And I've been the worst one for it. So it's like, this year I've tried my best to enjoy the process of writing and releasing the album rather than it just being like, historically it'd be like, right, I've wrote it now, it's out in the world, that's that, I've gone through all the pain, whereas I've tried to enjoy the process. Like, we've done loads of live sessions in here and like done a lot of stuff together with humans, so that's a success.
I feel that you're quite humble because you've got 20,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, a few songs surpassing nearly 700,000, 500,000, 600,000. Like, do you ever look at these numbers, or is it more of a personal thing to feel successful?
I think the thing is, and I'm going to teach the younger audience something now. I think I've got something like 6 million streams across Apple Music and Spotify.
Not to brag.
No,
I'm joking.
No, but I'm really not, because I can count probably on one hand how many actual fans that have reached out to me and said, "Oh, I found you so and so on Spotify," and then I've converted them into like mailing list subscribers or people who've bought my records or invested as like a proper fan. I think the younger generation have been taught to chase like playlist placements, and as what I'm getting at is, I've got a mailing list with about 900 on it, and I get about 50% opening, and that is absolute gold, because that's, call it 400 people are opening my mailing list, and they're humans, they're opening the emails. Whatever I'm saying to them, I can communicate to them, and I do invite people to email me back. On Spotify, there's no, apart from on podcasts now where you can comment, there's no way to communicate with those listeners. So they're just numbers, and they're great for like a musical CV, because I can go, I've got 6 million streams, it looks great to someone, but the reality is they're not fans. A lot of it is just algorithmic playlists. Spotify's replaced the radio, so like radio historically used to be just in the background, like whilst you're hoovering up.
It's almost throwaway, isn't it? It's like it's like social media. It's all such a throwaway society. It's like I'll listen once and then I'll forget the name of the song, forget the name of the person. Whereas if you're in a mailing list, you're there constantly, almost like reminding them I exist or listen to this music. Because you sold out pretty much straight away of the Yarni ensemble gig. Was that because of the mailing list?
No, I just think that we're working with the right promoters, really, because choosing wisely about that's the thing. Like I've only done about, I don't even think I've done 10 gigs as Yarni in total. I've just chose the right people to work with in the right places. You know, that's another important thing. It's an ecosystem. It's not just me. It's like working with the right, like Dave, Nonna, Fab, Kazaya, obviously. You know what I mean? It's like it's. But yeah, going back to quite a few people call me humble. I think I've consciously had, so Yarni, I did quite a bit of research on like brand tone of voice and making sure that whatever my tone of voice is a reflection of who I am. Yeah. I'm just a normal working class bloke, so there's no point me trying to pretend I'm a superstar. Yeah. And that's why like the demographic of people who like buy my records are either my age or 70% male. You can clearly see like a lot of people just buy the records and support me because they like see a little bit of themselves in me, you know what I mean? And that's I'm just trying to be a relatable guy, so it's like
it's quite refreshing in a way.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's hard because when I was younger, I was an arrogant little, and then you like things happen in life and it kind of like brings you down a peg. You get a bit older, you go hang about. Yeah. Just be normal, you know what I mean?
And you learn as you develop as well.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
You just I guess mature a little bit, find out what's important, what's not important. Like you say, numbers probably aren't important, but seeing faces at a gig and seeing how your music makes people feel is probably way more important to you than 6 million streams.
Honestly, mate, just people. That's why I like YouTube. It's not. I've not developed it too much, but at least on YouTube, you post a video, someone can comment, and you can comment back. You can talk to people. That's the thing. Like the thing with Spotify, they don't want people to be able to talk to each other for various reasons, and it's just a shame because you want to know how. Because I've got out of those 6 million, whatever it is, I think I've got something like 4,000 followers on Spotify, which are a bit more important because that means that they've chosen to like. They want to know when the next song's coming out, so that's good because they're a bit more engaged. You know what I mean? That means like
as a percentage, turning 6 million listeners into 4,000. Like 4,000 followers is great for Spotify, but as a percentage of 6 million, I can't do the quick maths, but it's like 0.01% probably, or 0.0 whatever.
Yeah, there you go. So the point being, that sounds great. The reality is, we all need to have real fans, whether that's by doing stuff in 3D gigs or a mailing list or just having a way to communicate, even like Instagram and stuff. At least you can like DM people and like nurture a relationship, turn people into actual fans, you know what I mean?
Yes. So should we expect more gigs from you going forward?
Next year we're working on, I just need to find the right people to work with, promoters and stuff. because I haven't got the capacity to be running my own events as well as everything else. That's the problem. So
Yeah.
it's like working with the right people, you know what I mean?
Dave would be great.
Yeah.
Funky Drummer would be good as
Yeah.
well. Shout out to both of them.
Yeah, of course, mate.
Are you planning on doing any festivals? I know Franz is a big fan of Glastonbury.
Yeah.
I can't see him not going there again.
I think I'll be... So I think I need to lean into Friends a little bit and just ask for a bit of advice. Like I say, where I'm just venturing back into the live performing realms.
And he's probably the grandmaster of
absolutely
live music.
Yeah. So, yeah, at this stage, mate, I just want to get... Next year, I want to choose the right gigs with the right people and just showcase what it can and should be even more so, you know what I mean? That's the... After that first gig, I just feel like... Because promoting this album this year has been tough. I've like worked at 200% all year. Been like burnt out for like 6 months, and then the gig like kind of just like
it's relief.
Yeah, and it like if it didn't go too well, I'd probably be down in the dumps. But because it were everything I wanted and more, I was like, right, I'm buzzing now because this is like energised me and ready for next year. You know what I mean?
So we obviously speak about next year. Do you have a certain goal or a few goals for the next sort of 5 to 10 years?
Oh God.
What's on the list you wrote?
I can't share too much.
No?
No, I've always kept that kind of private.
Okay, if you in 20 years, if you were to look back at the next 20 years, when would you kind of say, okay, I'm happy?
If I could, so the big thing this year has been I self-released my album, having worked with the previous 2 albums with a label who spent like 20 odd grand on the 2 albums. The outcome of that was about the same as the albums that I released before working with them. So I was quite disappointed in terms of like they invested a lot of money, but it didn't equate to what I was hoping for. So I decided to release this album myself as a bit of an experiment to work out what I can and can't do. And what I've realised is I've killed myself in terms of like content and trying to promote stuff and like still operate as a human being and still be someone I've got a partner and like just try to be. So I think what would be a great success would be to be able to release an album and it's not sells itself, but it's a lot easier. Like I've laid a blueprint and I need to scale it so it's like I can make it sustainable where I'm not monitoring like every record sale as trying to recoup the investment that I've put in it, you know, just enough where you're like, right, this is sustainable now. Write an album, release it, play some gigs to support it, and it just becomes like a nice ecosystem that keeps going around. That'd be the big success.
Yeah. So, what's your creative process like? Like, if you're, is there a demand for you to make an album now, or do you kind of have the luxury of time where you can kind of just sit back and start thinking about the next one?
I think the demand just comes from yourself.
Yeah.
I think one of my biggest problems has been I'd write an album and then I'd be like, right, what's next? Rather than just like slowing down. So like I did 2021, 22, 23 album every year, where most people do an album, like do some gigs and like trying to work out, whereas I was just like, right, just keep that process going. So now I'm thinking, right, stop that, let's do some gigs and like look backwards at all these bits that I've got and like try to like fashion it all together and like, rather than just keep chasing the next what could be a hit, you know what I mean? Just like, I think that's someone knocking.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's quite nice that you can look back at your life and I guess not really have any regrets.
Yeah, no regrets at all. It just a case of, I think, I'll tell you what, I have got 2 musical regrets, which, again, going back to giving advice to younger artists, one was not setting up a Bandcamp page sooner.
Right.
Because that's where that was like the turning point where I went, right, I released like a free track, Pay As You Feel, and it just took off. And I was like, wow, why did I wait like 5 years to do this?
Yeah.
And then the other thing was starting to gather a mailing list. That's why I preach to people now. Set up a Bandcamp, even if you sell one thing, you've got an email, you can talk to people. And a mailing list's just gold. I think mailing lists in 20 years we'll still be talking about how important a mailing list is.
Yeah. Because you could, like you say, you can actually talk to your fans.
Yeah.
As opposed to hoping that they communicate with you.
There's no algorithm. Obviously, people, we're bombarded with emails, but if somebody chose to sign up, they've chose to sign up, they're looking for it, you know what I mean? And they couldn't, obviously you get an unsubscribe rate, but that's just natural, because if you're bombarding with like selling stuff, they're going to like say...
But that's up to you to manage, I guess, isn't it? For them,
it.
If you're getting unsubscribed, it's mean you're sending too many emails, or it's too salesy, or anything like that. So.
And that's the thing, like I've always asked people to, in life, not just in a mailing list, just send us some feedback or give us some suggestions. I love it, because obviously without the fans, you know what I mean? Like that's it. They're the people that are going to keep things going.
Yeah. Is there anything else other than music that kind of inspires you to do what you do?
Travel. I've travelled quite extensively around the world, and everywhere you go, you pick up even like culinary things. Like I just love when you go to a different country and you start, because I always make a point of like eating properly local. And you just pick up these things, and I find that quite inspiring. I just like how, like, when I was in Japan, I always tell this story about, we were in a place called Golden Guy, which is, it used to be like all these tiny little bars, which were a brothel, basically, for the US soldiers post-war. It was shut for years, and then it turned them into loads of little bars. So all these little bars have got like 6, 8 seats at them.
I've actually been.
There you go.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, but we went in one and we sat down, and this guy, Japanese guy, came to sit next to us. He says, "Do you mind if I sit next to you?" I'm like, "Of course not." And he says, "Do you mind if I speak to you and practice my English?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "What do you think to Japan?" I'm like, "Literally amazing. We've been there about a week. Can't wait to come back. I love this place. It's amazing." And he started crying because he was so proud that A, because he's proud to be Japanese, and B, that he was just taken aback. He weren't drunk or anything, because he'd just come in.
They're very emotional in Japan.
And I was like, I can't imagine being that proud. Obviously, our history in Britain's not the nicest thing to be proud of anyway, but without going into politics. I just can't imagine feeling like he liked that. So it like took me aback, and I was like, that's why I love travel. Not I've seen all the amazing sights of Tokyo, but to me, that 5-minute interaction with that Japanese guy and him crying about how proud he were because he were proud that we said it's an amazing country, that's like irreplicable. I can't even think of the word.
I know what you mean. Yeah. But I think sharing a beer with a local is like one of the most powerful things you can do, is travel and have a beer with someone from that place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we have no idea about culture, unless you go. Like you go to South America and it's all music and football.
Yeah.
And you go Africa, like you go to West Africa, again, music, football, food.
Yeah.
And almost everyone else apart from Western society is just, it's lack of stress. They prioritise fun, or they prioritise something else other than...
A lot of it's family.
Yeah.
Like in Italy, like Sunday dinner in Italy is an all-day thing. Like Southern Italy in particular. It's an all-day thing and everybody goes. And it's like, if you don't go, then why are you not there?
Yeah.
Nonna will be ringing you up saying, get down here now.
Yeah.
And it's like, we historically had that, but obviously times have moved on and everybody's too busy being busy, you know what I mean?
Is there somewhere that you've not been that you really want to go to?
Ooh. I've not actually been to many places in Africa. And obviously with the musical element of it, I feel like at some point I'd probably venture around and start capturing stuff, take some like field recording equipment.
I've speaking to KOG recently, and I was sat in his living room, we were chatting, and I just went, you know what, I really want to go to Ghana. And I've never seen someone get so passionate about a country ever, and he's made me really want to go.
Yeah.
It's like really, really want to go. It's like apparently everyone just look after you, feed you, play football with you. Everyone's just dancing. No one's awkward apparently.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
But
like,
basically just like him then.
Yeah.
Basically he's a perfect representation of the...
Yeah. And if that's anything to go on, if that doesn't make you want to go to Ghana, then I want to go.
Amazing, mate. Love it. Love it.
I feel like we've kind of talked about everything we need to talk about.
Yeah.
I've got a little fun section that
Yeah.
we call ChatGPT.
go for it.
What do you think to AI?
I've used it extensively this year to develop all of my marketing of the album, but I've made a conscious effort of making sure I have my own tone of voice in there. So I'll extract the bits, then turn it into who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Do
my...
you think it has a place in music?
That side of it. The creative... It's difficult, isn't it? 'Cause all of the greatest shifts in music have been from people, either political changes, like punk music, grime music is punk music, or people embracing technology. And when a drum machine or a 303 acid box was made by a Japanese guy, it wasn't meant to turn into a massive rave scene. Somebody got that technology and went, I'm going to do that. And it took off. Drum machines the same. You've got to embrace it, but you've got to find a way where, and this is what I'm saying now, everybody's going, when drum machines came out, they went, drummers started to be scared, like, I'm going to be redundant, I'm not going to get a job. Well, that's what's happening with AI now, isn't it? They're going, they're going to create the music and I'm going to be redundant. Well, that's happened many different times. Look at what's happened and work out what to do next rather than just like get bogged down by it.
I feel like musicians can never sort of be replicated, especially in the live aspect of it. Like, I don't think anyone's ever going to go and watch an AI band. Really, I mean, they might.
I think it's just the mistakes. All my recordings, I've left mistakes in.
Imperfections make humans perfect.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like if you listen to really old recordings, like there's a Led Zeppelin track, and you can hear John Bonham's bass drum pedals not been oiled, and it squeaks every time it's in it. You could tell AI to do that, but it's in the recording. It's a microphone in the room.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think everybody needs to embrace technology. It's just making sure it's used in the right way and not just crossing your arms and going, this is crap, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. So moving on to some questions that ChatGPT have written.
Might change my mind in a minute.
We just ask it to write some random thought-provoking questions.
Yep.
Some based around music, some based around life. One that we ask everybody that isn't ChatGPT. Me and Jordan had a discussion once and it got way deeper than we thought it would. And it's basically, when does a knife become a sword?
Is it length or the way it's being used?
See, these are two of the main points that people go to. It's what it's used for, if it's double-sided, the length of it, the handle of it. We've had so many different
handle, that's the point.
different answers for it, and I never thought it'd be as deep as it got, because we spoke about machetes, spoke about daggers, spoke about big knives, steak knives, all these kind of things, and we've not been able to answer it.
What, have you not found the answer?
No, we've not even thought to ChatGPT it.
You don't want to know.
No.
I'd say the way it's being used.
Intention.
Yes.
Okay. If your turntables suddenly developed a personality, which genre would they refuse to play?
What's that guy that throws cakes at people in the crowd?
I don't know.
Steve Aoki.
Okay.
Have you not seen it?
I've heard of Steve Aoki. I've not seen the videos.
I think he throws cakes at people in the crowd, and people like turn up with like a cardboard sign saying "throw cake at me."
Fair.
Whatever that music is, it's like really full on American. You know, Americans are great at certain music, but sometimes they get the stuff from over here and then they do their own version, they ruin it. That's any of that stuff.
Just like with TV channels.
Yeah.
Well, everything they touch, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Football.
They're great at their own creations. It's just when they reinterpret, like dubstep turned into like Boro step or whatever they call it. That kind of stuff. My turntable had just dribbled up.
They're good at kind of punky stuff, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like the kind of, American...
Well, they invented it, mate.
Yeah, American punk.
New York.
Probably the one things I'd give credits for.
Yeah.
And pop as well.
Hip-hop, obviously.
Yeah, and hip-hop, of course. You can only DJ using sound recorded from your kitchen. What becomes the drop?
Ooh, it's got to be the fridge door, hasn't it? Boom,
just whacking it.
Yeah.
I think I've seen someone do a bit of an edit to that before.
Yeah.
It might be a car door or something.
There's a guy called
Stimming.
Martin Stimming, and a lot of his percussion is an electronic producer.
Yeah.
A lot of his percussion is found sounds and stuff he's recorded. So like he'll have like scissors and for hi-hats and all sorts of different
I love watching all the like Instagram's got so fun now. Just watching people's development into turning someone's voice into an entire track.
Yeah, it's
or
great,
something
man.
like that. Or,
again, that's technology though, isn't it? It's embracing it rather than going, it were better back in the day.
yeah, back in my day. If you could only improvise using the sound of one animal for an entire gig, which animal are you choosing?
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to say a monkey, because in the track with Franz Von, Natural Light, there's a drum called a cuica,
Right.
which is it's a Latin drum. So it's a normal drum with a skin, and they cut a tiny little hole in the middle, and they have a stick, and you like do this, and it makes a monkey sound. So they call it a monkey drum. So I'm going to say it's cuica. I'm going to say a monkey.
A monkey.
Monkey drum.
That'd be quite good actually. Though. I feel like their vocal range is good enough.
Yes.
To make a cool song from.
Yeah, I don't know about a full performance. It's tiring, mate. But
Like, if you got like a gorilla or something, they could beat their chest.
Yeah, that's it.
Whack the floor, all that kind of stuff. If you had to DJ a set you did DJ a bit as well, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm asking all these DJ questions, and it's like, if you had to DJ a set in complete silence and the crowd had to imagine the music, how would you hype them up?
See, this is a problem. The whole reason I DJ is because I don't want to be dancing. I just like providing the music, not and I'm not very animated, so it'd be
Pyrotechnics.
Yeah, this is a problem. Isn't it? I'd have to start throwing cakes at people. More cakes than pyro.
That's the show. Just silence, just throwing cakes at everyone.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Cakes and pyro.
A tiny wizard appears in your wardrobe. What completely useless spell does he offer you? And it could be to do with music, could just be everyday life.
I mean, we could quote the old Noel Gallagher talking about Liam Gallagher when he says he's a man, I might be paraphrasing wrong, he's a man with a fork in a world of spoons.
Yeah.
So I'm just imagining I've got a bowl of soup and he's cast me a spell and all I've got is a fork.
Just drink it.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah, sorry.
You turn into the last object that you touched for 24 hours. What are you now and how screwed are you?
It's an orange coffee cup from Habitat. And what was the second part of the question?
How screwed are you? 24 hours.
It's a nightmare because all I've got is like an arm. That's it. That's it.
Just there.
Out with an arm.
But do you think if you're a mug, hot water would feel nice?
Well, yeah, but if it touched our skin, we'd be a bit pinker than usual.
Only the important questions on this podcast, by the way.
I like it.
If your furniture held weekly meetings about you, what would be the main topic?
Not another bottle of lager. No, not another one. No, not another one. It's got to stop at some point.
Sounds like song lyrics.
Yeah,
Could be
absolutely,
the title of the song, Not Another Bottle of Lager. Somewhere. And last question to end this podcast is, you suddenly shrink to the size of a grape. What's your biggest challenge in the next 7 days?
It's an outrageous question, isn't it? Where do I even go with that? Biggest challenge? Well, it's obviously not being squished, but that's too obvious.
No, just the size of a grape. You're not a grape.
All right.
So
right,
you're just you, but you're just...
I don't think there is any challenges. It'd just be good, that, wouldn't it? Because you could, like, get under stuff a lot easier. You know what I mean? I don't have to open gate outside.
But imagine having to get to your like desk or your computer.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
You'll have to like run up your drum kit, jump along there.
Yeah, a little borrower. I don't even know where to go with that question.
Fair enough. Right, I think that ends our podcast. So thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for
It's been a
inviting me.
pleasure. You are a bit of a legend in the Sheffield scene.
Thank you.
I must say, very highly regarded. So it's nice to chat with you, and what an incredible studio as well.
Cheers. Yeah. Home from home.
Home from home. We do ask for the podcastee to play a bit of outro music.
Yes.
Be it with your voice, bit of whistling, bit of drumming, or playing some keys or some drums.
I mean, I could play you a guitar that's probably not in tune.
Want to do that?
Yeah.
All right, next thing that you hear is Yarni playing the guitar. Thank you very much for coming on.
I'm literally going to play just an open one chord because it won't be in tune and this is going to sound horrendous.
Just the outro, it's just ding.
There you go.
Sweet. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.